Hello there, and we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to episode 10 of the Ryan and Claude show. And of course, I'm here with my business partner and the first podcaster, my brother, to be here with me on this channel. You know, me and this guy, we've been to wars together, starting this channel, and now we're here. So it's only nice that, I have him on the show today again. Ryan Maguire, you're welcome to the show, episode 10.
Yeah,
What
it's
can you
going to be
say?
it's going to be a good one. We've got some very nice things to discuss. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for it.
Yeah. See, Ryan, Arsenal versus Liverpool. I don't know if you went to that match. Did you go to the Emirates that on the day on
No, I
Sunday?
didn't manage to get down, but glued to the screen, obviously.
Okay. Would you say in your books? Would you say the North London Derby is bigger than facing Liverpool in terms of the dynamics right now?
Um,
Because there's a question I want to ask you after that.
from looking at the table, possibly because they're higher up. Looking at, I've seen quite a few stats from Spurs today. So even though they're higher up, they're not really justifying it. But in terms of being the local rival, it's always a massive game. The Spurs game, no matter where they are, and if we're both close, pushing for the similar positions, then just makes it bigger. But in terms of the actual victory, getting a victory against Liverpool is bigger at the minute because we've just not been able to do that in past years. So
Yeah.
it felt like a much bigger victory.
So if they gave you tickets to both the North London Derby and Arsenal versus Liverpool this season, which one would you have gone to? I knew you already went to the North London Derby, but I want to I want to kind of see the importance of these games through your eyes. Which one would you have taken if they gave you those two tickets? Ryan Maguire, pick one.
Um, I'll still probably choose the derby. I think, just because of what it means to be there to watch the victory over the old rivals.
The old rival, the old enemy.
There's not
Yeah,
much a better feeling, but if you any Arsenal fan that managed to get down there against Liverpool and the just the high and the relief they would have felt to get a victory over them and just
yeah.
the absolute good times that's going to come with it would have been absolutely immense. But I think every year you're choosing the North London Derby. It's one of the games where it's hardest to get tickets for. There's always a couple of tickets flying about for other games, but the Spurs game's pretty much locked. You
Yeah.
if you've not got your tickets months prior, you're very very unlikely to get one for that. So it's mainly because of that. I would choose that one.
That one. Ryan, take us through that Arsenal versus Liverpool game. Very that game had everything. It totally had everything. Tension, goals, back and forth movement, shambolic defense, defending, midfield battle, VAR mishaps, refereeing inconsistencies. It had everything. Even the fight. I'm right now hearing about racial abuse. Hold at Gabriel Magalhaes. I don't know how true that is, but we'll find out when the news totally comes out. Take us through a tour de grand of what happened at the Emirates on Sunday, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like what you're saying, it had everything. Like, it was a great game for the neutral. I think it wasn't a great. Obviously, it finished a great game. It wasn't a great game for me. I was so tense and nervous all the way throughout. They seemed to be. We let them have chances to get in. Their equalising goal, the second one especially, looked very easy that they got in, but see, like I say, just like there was chances throughout. It was good. Both sides played well in parts. And especially Liverpool, especially in that first half, looked like they was going to play like Liverpool, like we expect them to. They kind of we basically got the goal straight away, and pretty much after that, it was a lot was all Liverpool, especially for that, especially for the first half. And I just expected Liverpool to grow into it, to just play like they was going to, and then even from an onslaught, we managed to get a goal, which I was not surprised at, because I do think we can score pretty much every game. It's just a surprise in the fact that it's one of the games where we wouldn't have got the goal. Previously, we'd have played well, or we'd have counter-attacked well, but we've not managed to get it in the back of net. Now, you might look at it as a slightly scruffy goal in the end, but as long as it gets in the back of the net, who cares? Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, we showed the mentality to manage to get it in there. And then second half, we played a lot better. I expected the goal. Obviously they got that equaliser, but that was against the one play. That was a nice counter attack from there. So we played very well in that second half. I did expect the goal to come. It came from a, shall we say, slightly dodgy penalty, maybe. But nevertheless, we got the goal, and then Saka stood up, and like usual, I can't watch when Saka takes a penalty. Not because I think he's going to miss. It's not that at all. It's something with Saka. We've watched Saka now since he was 17. If you watched him in the youth, you've seen him.
Ryan, let's big up some people who have come, to support us, because this is a Champions League night. So any supporters we get here, we have to big them up. Anthony B has been everywhere with me through the week where I've been at, everywhere. He's a backbone for me right here. Anthony B, God bless you. God bless you. And, I always want to keep seeing you on our shows, my brother. Anthony B, God bless you, man. God bless your family. Craig CFC, God bless you for being here with me, man. I know you could be anywhere, but you're here with me. God bless you, man. And of course, I got your favorite, Ryan Maguire is here. We're chopping it up, the old school way, like we normally do. Yeah, Ryan, you were saying something about the Liverpool Arsenal game.
Yeah, so like I said, Saka stepped up, and I've not been able to watch a penalty from Saka for ages. No, like I said, not because I think he's going to miss, just because we've pretty much watched him since he was 17. It's like watching one of our kids step up to penalty, and I've got two sons of my own, and if they grew up and managed to play football, I wouldn't be able to watch them take a penalty. I'd be so nervous, man, and just that's
extremely nervous.
What I'm like with Saka, it's like watching my own son take a penalty. I'm just so nervous, but great. It was a great penalty. Alisson,
and even where he slot the penalty into, it was a bit. It was a bit close, I don't know.
It was close.
It was a bit close.
It had enough power so he wasn't able to get it.
Yeah.
Whereabouts he's put it, it's not that far, not that close to the post, so the keepers can get there. But if you hit it with the right amount of power, it's more than likely going to go in, unless Alisson dives well before he takes it, which is not done. So yeah, it is a nice cool penalty taker. I don't know if you remember Maitland-Niles when he took a penalty for Arsenal in FA Cup final. It was I think it was one at finals anyway, and then he just walked up nice and slow, nice and cool, slot it away, and Saka does the same. And considering the penalty that he did miss, that we all know about it, to have that confidence to be able to take that penalty in Arsenal's biggest game of the season so far, it was amazing.
Yeah. How about that goal from Martinelli?
Yeah, from the second minute. I love it when we start like that. Quite a few games, like even last year, there was a few games where we flew out, and we got a goal early on. Not enough games where we've done it. A few games where we've not flown out of the blocks. But when we do that, the teams can't handle us. They don't expect us to fly out that quick, and He's so composed, Martinelli, for his age and the amount of money we paid, and there's
Yeah.
still a lot of naysayers when it comes to Martinelli, especially opposition fans, because he's not that big name, he's not that 80 million price tag that
A
I
price tag kind of player. Exactly.
but he does now, especially everything that we're asking him to. He crosses the ball superbly. His composure is pretty much second to none. I mean, he hit the post last weekend, and then he slotted it on perfectly. Yeah, great goal.
Yeah, he's beginning to score goals are now becoming part of his game, and of course that's what we want from a Gabriel Martinelli, because that's the criticism that has always been meted on him. When will Gabriel Martinelli, score and just keep on scoring? That has always been the that has always been the question. Like, when will he, mature into that kind of player that can be very, very reliable? Because other players have very, very reliable people on the wings, like a Sterling. He has. There was a time when he was at Liverpool, he was just only having the runs. But then when he came to Manchester City, he started scoring goals. Goals started, slowly becoming part of him, and that's what I always wanted to see with a Gabriel Martinelli, because I always knew that he had that in him. I knew he had goals in him, because when you're a Brazilian player that's like that, you're young, you're good, you're fast-paced player. That's who Martinelli is. When you have that kind of pace, you have the power and you have the effectivity to just run at players. Dazzle at them. Run at them. Try to get that 1-2 dribble, and just slot the ball into the net. And that's what we're seeing from Gabriel Martinelli this season. But one question I want to ask you right now, Ryan, and that's why I'm very, very happy that I have you on the show, because it's just me and you. Ryan, is £200,000 per week the threshold for a new contract for Martinelli? Because he's holding contract talks with Arsenal right now, and he's demanding £200,000, at least from his agent. What can you say about that? Do you agree to this kind of fee for him? It's more than tripling his current wages right now. Do you think this is coming a bit too early? Or do you think we should actually give it to him? Because I've already heard that Chelsea is coming for him already.
So I feel, obviously, the way the game's going, it's always been a money game. I feel like I don't know if he's a bit young for that kind of money. Yeah. He's a bit young for that kind of money. It's not the prolific Premier League starter that comes with that kind of money. He's not. Obviously, he's absolutely smashing it now, but he
Yeah,
was absolutely smashing it last season. So to
yeah,
ask for that 8 or 9 games in, it's a bit high. But if it's true that Chelsea are looking at him,
yeah,
then other clubs might look into him, and if we need to tie our best players down, I think. Obviously, we've had that issue in the past where we give players too high of a contract, and
yeah.
we've had that issue. Then we've had come to let them go, but I can't imagine us. I can't imagine us at a point where we want to let Martinelli go, especially not for the next 6 years at least. So if we can get him on a 200, if we can give him a 200 year contract, but it's 5-year
It,
plus.
Ran, it's too much. That money's too big. It's too big. It now
It
looks like a kind of extortion right now. Like even Anthony Harbour here says, I'll allow you to complete what you're saying,
yeah.
Ryan. But even Anthony Harbour, welcome to the show, big brother. You contributed something here. You said you can give him £200,000 contract, but make it 8 to 10 year one. See, I don't know. Ryan, complete what you were saying.
Yeah, I agree that it's a high amount.
It's too much.
We'll have to actually see when he signs how much it actually is, because that could still be speculation. The Chelsea stuff could be agent stuff, boosting up. Agents do it all the
Yeah,
time.
agent. Yeah, criminals. Yeah, they do that all the time.
But I think clubs will be interested in him because he's absolutely flying. But yeah, I agree that 200 is from our perspective too much, but it's the way it's going. And if we give Martinelli 200k and he plays like he is doing and gets us that first, second, third positions, it'll pay off dividends in the end when we're in Champions League next season.
Yeah, because okay, for instance, Saliba is on 36K right now. Can you imagine? So
Believers,
right, and we're in the midst of negotiating a contract
well,
with
that's it.
Saliba, then what would he be asking for? Because he has the right to say, hey, you know what? I'm looking at an older player here, Gabriel Magalhaes, making mistakes time and time again, every day, every single time they play, is either getting us in a very, very tight corner, conceding penalties, or making blatant mistakes. And
That's what.
he's looking at that defense and saying, you know what? I'm the main man here. I'm the main guy here.
Listen,
Actually, I deserve more. And
Saliba's on. Yes,
and
Saliba's
he
on.
could demand for £400,000. What do you think?
Well, obviously, Saliba's 36k contract is the first one he signed. So, and he's not been playing, and we're loaning him out, so that's why it's low. But they're they're in negotiations for that. Saliba's gonna sign the dotted line, so he's probably gonna go anywhere between 100 and 150, I would reckon. Saka's gonna, I hope, fingers crossed, gonna sign and get that 150 to 200k. I would think because he's obviously a marvelous player. And Martinelli's just gonna obviously he's gonna ask for the same. I think Martinelli's gonna get about 150. I can't imagine it being 200. I think that's a bit
Yeah,
too much.
it's too much. It's too much because I don't want a case like Mesut Ozil again. I don't want this kind of problems again, like reoccurring again. Where players are just jostling for contract, trying to get a payday, and when they get their payday and they say, okay, why should I actually try to play again? I've gotten what I want. Why can't I just sit, relax, and enjoy my money and party and and just have laps of honors, given to them privately. Don't you think that's what's going to happen if we start giving these young players this type of inflated kind of contract? It's
I
like
mean,
deja vu all over again.
it's a point because we've seen it with quite a few. Seen it with Walcott before. Then Walcott had a flying half of the season, signed the contract, did nothing after that. Simmer Özil did it. Aubameyang's done it. Sanchez, when he left us, went to United, did it at United. Salah's doing it now at Liverpool, signed a big contract in the summer and has been dog since. So obviously there is that kind of worry that comes with any big contract. We've just got to hope that Martinelli's not them kind of players in. Obviously, he's still young. He's still got the passion to keep playing week out. Week in, week out. I don't really see it. I don't really see that from Martinelli because obviously, like you're saying, he's got that Brazilian flair. So he's got that Brazilian mentality to just play every game. Just he gives it 100%, doesn't he? So I can't personally. I don't see that changing. But like I say, it is a good point. But I think with players like Martinelli, I don't think that worries. I don't think that worries there really.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan. So before we still go back to that Liverpool game again, something happened yesterday. Roy Keane, Manchester United legend, came out and he said, "You know what?" He said, "Arsenal are the biggest threat to Manchester City in the title race." Ryan, the mind games have started already. It's just the 10th game of the season, and
That
and
you know
these things have already started happening already. What do you think? Just give a direct answer to Roy Keane right
what
now.
you said. What you said there is exactly right. It's just mind games from Keane that he's trying to get into the Arsenal players' heads there. That is all that is. If
Yeah.
you've seen Keane's predictions before the season, he didn't think we'd get fourth. I think he said
Yeah.
sixth for something like
I
that.
think eight or something like that, even ninth. It's
Yeah, he
possible or
might have
something.
even gone that low. So I don't, as Keane said himself, I don't trust a word he says. he said that about his own players. He don't trust a word he say. I don't trust a word he says when it comes to Arsenal and other teams. A lot of the things he says about United, I don't trust. Last night they was asked the three best players in the league at the minute, and he said De Bruyne, Haaland, and Ronaldo. Ronaldo. So I don't trust a word he says. Like how's that? How's Ronaldo sitting on the bench, the best player, third best player in the league? Shut up. So yeah,
Shut up.
don't I don't I don't trust a word he says.
Oh,
Like yeah, a lot of the points Keane will put across are sound when he's talking about the way
yeah.
teams are playing and all that stuff. But that quote is trying to just get in our heads.
In
But,
our heads, right? Yeah. And
and
try to rile our players up and
yeah, but
make them
I'll
make
add
mistakes.
I'll add a but to that though. Even though it is mind games, is right, isn't it? Like we're the team top of the league. We're the one beat.
Yeah, what the team to beat.
We're the team
It's
beating
clear
last
facts.
year's runners up. We on Sunday we were second, so that was in our heads that we not top of the league anymore. We had to
Anymore.
Liverpool to overcome the Liverpool stigma that's been against us for the past 5 years. We had to
Exactly.
win to go above Man City. There's so many things there that could have smashed our mentality to bits, but
True. We just had to get that win.
overcame.
We
We
just had to get that
overcame that.
win.
Yeah, we just it's not something that we've done for a very long time.
Okay, Ryan, check this out. Your Matip, Alexander Trent Arnold, they're both banged up, injured, and they're totally shipped out of the dugout for the next 2 weeks. This is what Arsenal Football Club does to players, and we allowed Diaz to live the Emirates on clutches. These guys are banged up, injured. You know, they're like injured soldiers. I'm sorry, they are not Private Ryan, but they're injured.
It's a
So
scrappy. It's
I'm
a
telling
scrappy
you,
game.
these guys are going to be missing for 2 weeks. That's what Arsenal this season can do to
Yeah,
you.
we're fighters now. We're fighters. We've got a beast mentality now where we
True.
don't we don't
Warriors.
we're not backing down from games. I seen a great picture of one of the Liverpool players on the floor, and Ben White stood over him. Just what you're doing. Like we've got that fighting mentality that again we've not seen for a while. And yeah, it's just a lot of aspects from the Arsenal team and play. And obviously the way we play normally is pretty much spot on. It's a lot
Yeah.
of those aspects that we've failed in. We've got them aspects up now, and it's all coming together.
Like, see, yeah. When was the last time you heard players were coming, like a team were coming to Arsenal and they come to play us, and like, I'm talking of Liverpool right now, and you heard that their players are injured. You don't hear it. They come to the Emirates, they have a field day, they come, they plunder us, they disgrace us on the pitch, completely mock us over, and go out there and laugh us over on Twitter. But this season, the way these guys are playing, they're like warriors. you know Liverpool are coming to the Emirates, and many of their players are living in clutches, completely banged up with injuries everywhere, bandages everywhere. Trent Arnold didn't have any idea what to do with Martinelli. He was completely on toast out there. Their back four completely clueless. Van Dijk lacked awareness. Like, we really exposed that Liverpool team for the I don't want to call them frauds, because over the past seasons, they were the only ones that were actually giving Manchester City any kind of, like, you know any kind of challenge, in a way, even if they only won one title within that stretch. But they were the only ones that were after City, so you have to respect that. But for Arsenal to absolutely bank them up. It just showed a different dimension. But how did you see that midfield fight between Henderson, Thiago, Thomas Partey, and Granit Xhaka? on the day, because in the first half they had lots of possession.
Yeah, yeah, they did. They did have lots of possession, as Liverpool tend to do. We're both pretty much possession built sides. So there's going to be times where one team's got the ball a lot more than the other.
Yeah,
So it was a key it was a key area of the pitch, and I don't really I don't really see any particular one of the teams coming out massively above the other in the middle of the park on Sunday. It was very close in the middle. We got there's four professional players there that are for me tip top. So when all four are on the game, they're gonna pretty much control the ball when they've
yeah,
got it and win it back as well as they can when they've not. And they all showed that. Obviously, Thiago and Henderson have done it pretty much consistent in these last couple.
consistently. Yeah,
And then Partey and Xhaka are growing into it this season. So it was one of them where you think, are they gonna continue the hot spell against a team like Liverpool, or are they gonna fall back like people are anticipating Granit to do? And they didn't. They stood strong. It was a good performance from Xhaka again. It was a good captain's performance for him, even though he's not wearing the armband. He's still is
yeah.
he's a great leader on the
He's
pitch, and he
like a new
obviously
signing. He's like a new signing. I can't believe it. The way this guy's playing this season, the urgency, the hunger, like the change, the tremendous change this guy, has brought to his game. He's dynamic this season. He's no longer that guy we're, looking at like that central defensive midfielder we're looking at that was very, very naive, passing the ball sideways and backwards. That was the only way Xhaka knew how to play. But this season, the new lease of life, his new regeneration, the way he's completely changed his game and made people that that were mounting off and slagging him off, giving him no chance at all. The way he's completely allowed these guys to eat their words in a season, it's completely shocking. Everyone that have been so negative, about Granit Xhaka have changed their minds. The only person is why you're not sponsoring Mikel Arteta, who is also here with us. Is you're not sponsoring Mikel. You're a great friend here, but I know you don't like anything about Granit Xhaka. But can't you say he's proving you wrong this season, my brother? But Ryan, what do you say to that? Isn't this guy a new guy this season? Can the real Granit Xhaka please stand out?
yeah yeah good. And Xhaka is this season the player that we signed at that from Barlow, the player that we thought he was going to be. He's obviously got he's got the experience now, and has he got maybe he's got an older head on him now, a more mature head on him to make him just be a bit more maybe sensible, but he's still aggressive, but he's aggressive in a good way now. The way he's letting his aggression out, he's doing that in the way he's talking and the way he's shouting on the pitch, and the
Yeah,
tackles he's making are great tackles. The passes he's making are great passes. He's scoring some very nice goals. He just is the player that even when he was having his bad spells, the Arsenal fans knew he was a good player. And when he was linked with other clubs, I anticipated him leaving and then becoming that good player. And we think, oh, should we let him go or should we not? We
yeah,
did well to keep him. Not did well to keep him, but we did well in the way that people like the coaches and Arteta, they knew the player and what he could be. Obviously, we didn't sign a player to replace him, but it was mainly because they wanted to keep him because they knew Xhaka can be this player. Obviously, they had the discussion in the summer amongst the players about who they wanted to be captain, and apparently most
yeah,
of the players did pick Xhaka. And this shows you why. Just the way he is on the pitch and the way he brings him in for his little huddles and all that stuff. So
yeah.
he's doing brilliantly well at the minute.
Yeah, yeah, you can't argue that anywhere. Right now, the way he's buying credit for himself in that team, It's completely amazing, But let's get away from there. See that pass from Odegaard straight down to Martinelli. The way he just caught you see, that's the difference Martin Odegaard brings to the team. But was that his best performance this season, right?
No, no. Yeah, it was a good ball for Martinelli. I feel like he was pretty quiet for most of the game. Other than that, he had some nice spells, but I feel like halfway through the second half, I wanted Fabio Vieira to come on and bring to just freshen it up a bit because the glimpses he's shown us when he's been playing is the way he is on the ball and in his finishing's been looks top notch. I'd have liked to seen Vieira come on just to mix it up a bit, but maybe
Yeah.
obviously as Odegaard's captain, do we have to keep him on a bit longer? I don't know what it is, but no, it by no means it was his best game, but it wasn't a poor game either. It was just a bit on the quiet side.
Yeah, exactly. Because because at the time I'm really thinking that we really need to start looking at Vieira as as a viable foil, as a viable option. Right down there at that number 10 position because Vieira is scoring goals. He's scoring goals. He has the awareness. I'm not saying that Odegaard isn't aware, but there are some times that he loses the ball. Like even you knew that we lost the ball frequently in the midfield. Odegaard was a culprit in this, most times in that game. And again, the thing with Arsenal, when we break down during one of our offensive onslaught, and somehow Martin Odegaard loses the ball, everything breaks down. We're now very, very completely open to a kind of like a transitional break attack from the opposition team, and it leaves us completely open. But the foil in Fabio Vieira, he's more aware positionally of where he is, so he doesn't really make those kind of mistakes where he just flusters the ball and just fall off, which is very easy for Odegaard to make those kind of mistakes. He's not so strong on the ball. Sometimes when players come hard on him, he just falls off and he waits for the referee, for a yellow card or for a whistle to get blown. And sometimes these referees don't even care about him. And by then, the opposing players have gone to do their damage with a break or counter attack with us. So that's why I'm saying we need to be using a Vieira sparingly. I'm not saying he's where he should be as a player, but I'm saying he should get more run ins in the big games. Prepare him. Or am I speaking sense here, or I'm not, Ryan?
No, I certainly agree. I certainly agree. I mean, you surely you've seen it quite a few times where Odegaard's been in a great position to shoot, but he's passed it and the ball's then not gone to an Arsenal player. Obviously, if he's in a great position to shoot, but he sets up someone else and they score, 100%. That's great. But a lot of the times, them passes aren't then going to the Arsenal player; they're getting blocked, or he's doing a little dink pass, and the keeper's catching it a lot of times. So
Yeah,
I feel like a Vieira kind of player is someone a touch more greedy who will go for goal. And 9 times out of 10, you're wanting them to score to shoot when they're in a great position to shoot because that's how you win games by shooting, getting the
yeah,
getting the getting the ball on target, getting it in the back of the net. So I agree there, but I just feel like maybe it's because he's the captain, so he's playing a bit longer. But if we're being a bit weaker in that position, we need to bring subs on. And
yeah,
Vieira's not some 17-year-old kid who we're easing into it. He's
yeah.
in
He's
Portugal
in
last
his
season. He
20s.
looks
Yeah.
ready. Let's keep
Of
give him
course,
some
and
more
he played
minutes.
in FC Porto. He's ready. He's
Yeah.
ready. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not slagging off Odegaard in any way. I know what he brings to the table. He brings something very important, which is the passes. But there are times when just the passes won't cut it. There are times when your positional play cuts it. There are times when your stamina cuts it. There are times when your shots on goal cuts it. And
Yeah,
that's what Vieira brings to the table. Sometimes, he might not just be looking for those passes. Sometimes he's just looking for a way to shoot. It- and this is what most players in Arsenal don't do most times. Thomas Partey have been getting that into his game. Granit Xhaka, of course, we know sometimes he just gets into in on the act and just throws one of those Xhaka boom and gets some kind of goal sometimes, but it's not frequent. But I've noticed something about Vieira. He frequently tries shots.
yeah,
It might not go at the pace he wanted to go, but at least he keeps trying. But Odegaard hardly takes shots. Even if he has a shot, the shots are so weak and so poor. So I want to see more of Vieira. When that team sheet came out, Ryan, were you like Tomiyasu in the left back position? What do we have here? Mikel Arteta out. I can just imagine. What were you thinking at that time?
um, oh, I, I, I can't remember.
But before you go there, let's big up some of our some of our guys here. We have, lovely people here. Amy Baba, Ryan, of course, Amy Baba is your very, very big fan here. He lives in Finland and, he talks about you most times. Big up Tony and Ryan back again at the top. Come on, you Gunners. Exactly, Amy Baba. And my friend Anthony Herbert. I was just in a show. He was there too, and he's here with me again. Anthony Herbert, you have to be a member of my channel. The membership of the channel is up now, So, please, please, please go and become a member right now, Anthony Herbert. I need you, my big friends and my big hitters here, to be members of my channel. Craig AFC here. He says, if Nketiah on 100K, Saka got to be on 150K at least. Do you agree with that? That's an interesting dynamic.
If you're comparing it to the money Nketiah's on, 110%, because
Hmm.
Saka's playing week in, week out as my superstar. So he has to be on more money than him. So you're looking at that, yeah, 100%. There's,
100%, right?
there's a, I've seen a comment. There's a comment here from Craig AFC. It's very recent. It's about Saliba. Can you see it?
I'm coming. Oh God, we have lots of chats here. Is it this
So
one?
yeah, right.
Okay, Ryan Saliba reminds me of the great David O'Leary. So calm on the ball. Do you agree to that?
It's a big statement that because obviously
Yeah,
the younger fans might not obviously won't remember, or if they
of
don't know,
course.
David O'Leary, one of our most appearance players, just an absolute stalwart in centre back. He was that brilliant defender that one of the best before Tony Adams. Is he could say isn't it possible
Yeah,
better, or I don't know how you'd view it. So just having in the same, just to have fans putting him even in the same sentence shows you how impressed we are with him. But yeah, he's very calm on the ball. He kind of looks like a midfielder sometimes, like a good defensive midfielder. So I think it's the comparison is a bit early yet, but yeah, a big shout
yeah.
for an O'Leary comparison. But yeah, he's a top defender though in the year.
Sposi Mikel Arteta, my guy. See, I know this guy is Ateta out, but you know what? Wherever you are, my brother, because everywhere I go, you're just like Anthony Herbert, CFC, CFC, I think is it no, not CFC.
Yeah,
Craig AFC. They follow me everywhere I go. They are my big backbone backers here. And I love you guys, mostly you. But you're not supposed to Mikel Arteta. You are an Arteta out guy. I respect that. That's the beauty of my show. I allow everyone to have a voice here, whether you're Mikel Arteta out, in, or whatever. But look at what he said here. Saka and Nketiah's agent are crafty ones. bleeding the crop, bleeding the club dry. Do you agree? He's a funny guy. I like this guy. You know, he's a very funny guy.
It,
Chelsea OG, big ups to you, Chelsea OG. Of course, I know you guys are watching Champions League, laughing out loud. You chose a bad time too. So this UCL, I know. It's just the only time I could get Ryan in, 8 p.m. So I just had to do it. And of course, Ryan is my partner here. I respect his decisions too. So of
listen,
course.
listen, Chelsea OG with Arsenal fans, we've not known when Champions League kicks off for the past 4 5 years. So don't have a go at us for that.
Chelsea OG, you heard that, right?
Is it Champions League time tonight? Is it? Oh, God, I don't know. I don't even remember what the Champions League theme tune is.
Looks
I'm gonna
like
have to off. Do you know what I mean?
we Arsenal fans, it's been long since we've tasted glory in Champions League at all. Chelsea OG, thank you, for showing up for me. Chelsea OG is also, we're also in an association together. We have a kind of like a partnership, in a way, agreement. So, I go to show, he comes here, shows love in the chats everywhere. He comes on my show too. So, and one day to be nice, Ryan, for you to, go to Chelsea OG's channel and, go have a little chat with them down there. They're doing something great down there at CFC OG channel. It's a very, very great Chelsea pundit, great guy. And he's a kind of person that likes bringing people together, this Chelsea OG guy. So that's enough respect to him. So, what
On
else
it,
here again?
on it.
Yeah.
Before we move on, there's a quick question from Anthony Herbert. He says, in the window after the World Cup, can you see any players coming in? And if so, what positions is put?
Yeah, I just pulled up that chart now.
I
Anthony Herbert, yeah.
yeah. So
In the
in the
window after the World Cup, can you see players coming in? If so, what positions? I think DM should be up there. Thoughts? What do you think, Ryan?
110%.
Percent.
We need that a centre we need that centre midfield, um, a more defensive minded centre midfielder as backup for Partey and Xhaka when Partey inevitably gets injured, like we expect him to, because that's what he does. We definitely need that, and we need that cover, and then maybe a right winger. Hopefully, we're usually very quiet in January, aren't we? So hopefully we can get one. Hopefully we can get one or two in. I won't hold my breath because we're usually very quiet in January. But if we can manage to bring anyone in, I would definitely say a defensive midfielder, centre midfield, 100%.
Yeah. Gloria Idoko, thanks for coming to the show. This lovely lady, Gloria, thanks for coming to the show, lady. You're blessed. Thanks. Um, okay. Can we talk about Jesus? Hey, you know what? Let's talk about Jesus. His performance in that Liverpool game. You're not supposed to make a lot better. Thanks for that. See, Gabriel Jesus ran those channels hard. The way he was running, the way he kept that press, and that's what you get from number nines that understand modern football. They always lead with the press. And at the tail end of last season, was saw Lacazette being used sparingly in that position, not as your traditional number nine, but as this number nine that had to go down there and actually run the channels and press from the front lines. What do you think, Gabriel Jesus, on Sunday against Liverpool?
Yeah, he's an absolute worker, and he doesn't stop pressing, which is a great side to his game, because
Yeah.
it's easy to see. It's easy to see your strikers like Nunes. Pretty much, he's not. But when he's not on the ball, I didn't see him pressing highly or as aggressively as what Jesus does. Even when Jesus isn't scoring, he's still it's still just all over him. Obviously, Van Dijk didn't have the best game, and players like Jesus just had the absolute run of him. They were just they from Jesus all the way back to Ramsdale, everyone just looked very confident, all throughout the team. So they're just doing that job that we're asking for them, including that pressing, like you're saying. They're causing absolute havoc for any defenders they're coming up against, and they're coming up against Van Dijk, who's been one of the best centre backs for the past few years, and no fear,
No
pressing
fear.
him like they'd press any other defender. It was great to see. Great to see.
Great to see. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. And again, see, yeah, because striker dynamism, it's one of those tricks in modern football that I think most strikers don't really adapt to. You have to adapt to that way of playing as a number nine. Number nines are no longer this traditional number nine. You have to adapt. You have to press. You have to lead from the front lines. You have to press at players. You have to run at them. You have to make them make mistakes. You have to allow them fear you. You have to dribble once in a while. And that's why I always wanted a dribbling kind of number nine. And Gabriel Jesus brings all these things for us. Even if he's not scoring goals, he's creating empty spaces in and about the 18-yard box and allows, brings in all these other midfielders and wide forward players to, just have a new lease of life, to have a crack. At those shots, at least he showed you what he can do against Bodo Glimt, where he had to dribble, cut from the inside, dribble the players, right from right from the left wing, and just cut that
Yeah,
lovely pass back for
great.
Fabio Vieira. And see, it's easy. It's easy. It's easy.
You
Just
see,
understand modern football.
you
It's
see
easy.
that play that you're talking about was great play. One of my mates sent me a video of it from like filmed in the stands, and put Ronaldinho-esque, and I said, it's what I've been saying. When he plays like that, he just reminds me of the great Ronaldinho. Just the way he is with the ball, it's like he's glued. It's like it's glued to his feet at times, and yeah, it was great. It was great play for that goal, and fabulous play.
Yeah, fabulous one. Hey, Ryan, we are top of the league right now. Mind you, we beat up Tottenham Hotspurs last week. We came down here this past weekend, and then we put Liverpool on toast. Like seriously, Liverpool Football Club, our boogie team, that we've not beaten in the past 3 years, and they came here to roast at the Emirates. Ryan, with these two gone, with Crystal Palace gone, with Fulham gone, these places that we've had to grind out results to win. Ryan, do you think Arsenal are title contenders? Like, just tell the viewers, we have some people here. Let us know. Do you think with that? Because I'm sick and tired of people leading from behind, coming and talking, hey, we're going to draw. And then when we win, and they're shouting, they're happy. That's not how to lead. Right now, Ryan, do you think because whenever I say we're going to win the league, yeah, you're like, Anthony, I'm not with you on that one. I know you have that at the back of your mind. But Ryan, with these wins, do I sound crazy?
I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that with title challenges. I've been saying title challenges for the past couple of weeks. Um, you like I've always said, I love your passion, and I love the that you say we're going to win it. I say we're going to be thereabouts, and they prove it every week with when they get these results.
Switzerland, Switzerland. Oh my God, you're Switzerland. All right,
Yeah,
continue.
I do think we're going to be thereabout. At the minute, we're being tested at the minute, and we're coming through them tests very well, including including the loss against United where we played well and lost. The test from that was how we bounced back, and we bounced back terrifically. So that a tester was playing the big clubs and winning. We played Liverpool
Yeah,
and won. A tester is bouncing back from a defeat, and we've done that. The next few testers now are going to the mid-table teams, going away, going to tough grounds with loud, big supporters like your Leeds at Elland Road's always, always a good support, always a loud crowd from the home fans. So the next test is going to these places, not just turning up for the big game, playing the littler clubs, the mid-table clubs. No disrespect to them, because every club in the Premier League is a top club, but this is the next test, getting results against these teams, and then coming out of October, top of the league, and going into November, into the winter months, being top of the league. If you don't think we're title challengers yet, I think after being second and going back above them, get your ticket for the bus, because it's leaving. It's leaving the stop.
Fact. You know what? See, yeah, and I thank God that when me and you started, we started, at the start of the season. We've not even started playing games that much. I think we only had maybe one game before we started this channel. And Brian, I've been saying it, that Arsenal is going to do something different this season, because I saw those changes to bring in Zichenko, Jesus, because I knew the problem we had last season. The problem we had was a striker to just convert goals, and now we have him here, and our back was leaking goals. At least we now have Saliba who's taking care of that right now. I'm not saying that we're comparable in terms of squad depth to Manchester City, but I'm saying that Manchester City also have cracks there too.
You
They're
don't.
not a perfect team.
No, you don't have to be 100% comparable with Man City, and including the depth and all that. You don't have to have that, because Liverpool haven't had that. Even in obviously the first 11 has been very sound, very close to them, but the squad depth hasn't been as good as City's, because of the amount of money they've spent and the bench they've got. It's mentality. It's performances on the pitch. It's leading from the back. It's shutting out it's having the defensive performances that we've seen. There's a lot more to it than just having. You can do a combined best 11 every time there's a game. The team that has the most players in that combined 11 isn't going to always be the team that wins the game. That's not what matters.
Yeah.
Look at Real Madrid winning the Champions League. The teams that they went up against, you would say the teams were better, but Real Madrid had that mentality. They had that they never say die, kings never die kind of stuff, and that's what it looks like. We've got. We might not have that squad depth. We might not have that combined team 11 where we've got 6 and they've got 5, but if you've got that mentality to grind out the win, to come back from behind, or to go in front when they've equalised, it's not all you need, but we're very happy with it, aren't we? We're very confident at the minute, 100%.
At the minute with it, right? Yeah. So, Ryan, let's go and play our ratings, and then let's call it a day, because of course I know you're tired.
Just before we do that, why not Spurs? You can have all my change in the world, mate. Get on the bus. Get excited, because Arsenal are title challengers. The title challengers. Get on the bus. I'll chuck you my £2-3, whatever you need. Jump on, sit next to me. It's going to be a great ride.
We have someone new here. Okay, he was in a show with me somewhere else. When I went to the show, he was in the chat. DJ Sinclairo, big ups to you. Can I join? We're already almost finished. Probably in the next show. Please just send me a message on Instagram, please. DJ Sinclairo, send me a message on Instagram, and we can work things out together. And thanks for joining me here. And of course,
you can always join the chat and throw in some comments and questions, because we always try and answer the questions and comments as
we always try to, so Just and Ryan, one of these days we have lots of time. I think we have to start introducing call ins into the show.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah, call in so that fans can be able to have a little bit of a nickel with us, because some of them, they want to come and test us here, and some want to throw doubts on us, and tell us that we're not winning the league. Of course, I know in some cases you have the right to say we're not winning the league, but when someone like Ryan says we're getting top four, you basically can't argue with what you're seeing on the ground right now. So some of them will want to come around and test us, but uh, that's the beauty of having a fan base, and having supporters and people
yeah,
follow you. So we're going to do that. So thank you, DJ Sinclair. So one of these days we have to look into call ins. So you wanted to say something, Ryan?
no, no, I said it. I said it. I can't remember what.
Okay, okay. Just before we go into player
Yeah,
ratings, cheesy to you. Thank you for joining, lady. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The best.
for turning up.
Uh, yeah, there was one more comment. Okay. Someone said something here, Ryan. Craig AFC 87. He said Dame Angela Lansbury grew up watching Murder. She wrote. Okay.
Yeah, she's uh, a bit off, a bit off from football, but um, actress in quite a few things, including Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Oh,
Great
okay.
film I watched when I was a kid. So yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Rest
Rest
in
in
peace.
peace. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Craig AFC, for giving us that info. Uh, yeah, you're not Spossy Mikel Arteta. Laka like Jesus created space. I want Jesus slapping in Alba amount of goals. 18, 18 goals plus. Not Laka that 12, 14. Alba's worst. See, that's another interesting thing, because when you want a striker to not just be the traditional striker, to be a striker that actually scores goals, and also be a presser of the ball, and also be that ball carrying kind of striker that kind of like takes spaces, no, sorry, takes on the oppositional defenders and creating spaces. You're not going to get those kind of outputs that Erling Haaland should be getting, because Erling Haaland is not a presser. He's robotic in his way of play. He's static because he has other people who will do the job for him, and his job is just to slot in the ball. But when you're playing for Arsenal Football Club, you have to be doing three jobs at the same time. What do you think? But this is a very important thing from you, not Sposi Mikel Arteta. Thanks for that question, Ryan. Do justice to that.
Yeah, I mean we've brought Jesus in to, like you say, to press and play the channels where he can. But 100%, we brought him in to get the goals that we missed from Laka last season. We do need a striker getting 18 plus goals. I totally agree with him there. I feel like we've got it in Jesus. I feel like that's going to come, so I think we're fine. But yeah, I agree. I agree with the statement there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what's gonna happen. Ryan, let's go for the we'll be going to the banter club of the week. I know we weren't able to talk about games, but of course, we really need to talk about the dynamics of Arsenal this season. Mostly with that game against Liverpool. So thank God we did justice to that. Ryan, would you be joining us for the post game show this weekend? Oh, sorry, this week with Bodo Glimt for Thursday. Me and you should do either a preview or something together.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know, even a watch along. People are clamoring for a watch along. Ryan, we can do this.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see why not. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, we can do it as a debut, because we've never done it before on the channel. So it
no,
will be
no.
good when you're watching, and I'm watching at the same time. And then,
Yeah,
we're just talking interactively, and, let's let's give these fans, a bit of a bit of who we are when we watch Arsenal Football Club, so that they know we're not robots that just come here and talk about football. So they know that we're living human beings, and we have passions, we have emotions, just like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. I've nothing against either
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. So backstage, we'll talk about that and know when to really start it. If we should do it with this bottled limit game, or we should do it, later on. So you let me know. So player ratings, very very important. So we'll just do this before we close up the show, because we weren't able to talk about other games. So player ratings, Ramsdale. Deji Sports calls Ramsdale Rams bottom.
But you can call him.
It
You can
got
call.
Deji Sports has gotten a throbbing from different podcasts. Like, he's my brother, but he's been whooped everywhere.
Days,
He went
days, days you can call Ramsdale whatever he likes. Doesn't it? Doesn't
calls
bother.
him Rams bottom.
You can call him whatever you like. Spurs have got Loris in the net who doesn't look like a footballer. Looks like he should be, I don't know, an accountant or something like that. He looks like honestly like a bank clerk or something like that. He doesn't look like a footballer at all, and a lot of the times he doesn't play like one either. So yeah, you can call him whatever he likes. I think Ramsdale had a steady game. Obviously, it weren't his best, but the Liverpool finishes were sound finishes. He didn't really make mistakes from it.
Yeah,
I'll just give him a solid 7.
yeah, right, yeah. Okay. um Tomiyasu.
Tomiyasu
Tomiyasu.
had a really really good game. He's playing at right back,
Yeah,
and he's playing at left back. Sorry, and he's usually a right back. The season before we signed him, he was playing right back and centre back. He can play pretty much all along that back four. He played at left back in one of the halves in Europe on the Thursday. So it didn't surprise me that he was playing at left back, but it
yeah.
surprised me how well he played against Liverpool. I thought he did. I thought he did very well. So because he was out of position and because he was against Liverpool, I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. I thought it was a great performance from him.
Okay. What would you say? Gabriel Magalhaes, shocking defending, shocking. And
Gabriel,
there was a penalty. There was a penalty that was supposed to be given, but it wasn't given. It was a clear penalty. His hand was in an unnatural position. Although there's this argument when it comes to that law that if the ball touches a part of the body before it goes to the hand on an unnatural position, it will not be a penalty. So, that dynamics of it. But hey, why is your hand sticked out in an unnatural position in the first place? In the 18-yard box. And you're playing with professional players.
he
And
dives.
fucking
He,
defending.
he just dives in a bit erratic, so his body's all over the place. I don't know why his hand was there anyway. I agree what you're saying. Obviously, it bounced off his body maybe, and that's why it weren't given. But if it was given, I would have had no arguments. If it was Van Dijk doing it, I'd be kicking off that it wasn't given. So
Yeah.
there was no reason why it couldn't have been given, and I was fearing that. I was fearing that it was going to be
I
given.
was fearing that, yeah, yeah, and even if me and you are both, on the positive side of things, but we have to call this out. It was extremely poor, shocking defending from Gabriel Magalhaes. I don't want to slag him off, but shocking defending, shocking. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I highlighted it last week that he's getting away with some mistakes because the rest of the team.
yeah, exactly. This season,
Yeah, I yeah, there is that thing to him where he's not the complete centre back, is he? He's got that mistake in him. Is one of them that for 80 minutes can
yeah.
be really really solid, and then he can have 10 minutes completely off the boil. But he's lucky at the minute that he's got Saliba next to him that can mop it up. The rest of the team are performing, so it's not that big of a worry at the minute.
But what's wrong with him? Last season it was a bit decent, but this season is just I don't know. He's just not there. And if not William Saliba, trust me, Ryan, Arsenal would have been down the rabbit hole again because of our defense.
I honestly don't think he's much different to last season. I didn't last season. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was gonna. I thought he was. I thought he was good, but I wasn't screaming from the rooftops about him last season because I seen mistakes in him last season as well. I feel like we've done well to have.
Big up the Other Time podcast. God bless you, Other Time podcast. You are with me on CFC OG show. God bless you. God bless you, man. Thanks for remembering me here. And it says to us, big up panel. God bless you, Other Time podcast. You can always send in your what you think, your ideas, and your thoughts, please, so we can discuss them. Yeah, Ryan, you were saying something.
Yeah, I just think we've done well to get Saliba working with him, to shut out some of the mistakes. But I seen him last season, and we've seen a couple this season where if we'd have been playing like what we have been playing like these past couple of years, we could have lost a couple of games because of his mistakes. But hopefully his experience grows and he learns from it. Because again, still on the young side, so I'm not too worried as long as he starts to iron them mistakes out.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the problem when you're kind of like a player that gets mixed kind of reactions and mixed kind of play or performances. He went in that Fulham game. He was the one that created that mistake, first of all, against a deadly striker in Mitrovic. Cost that goal, and we went, it cost that goal from Mitrovic. He bounced back and went to score the winner. That's how mixed his game is. That's how divisive it's starting to get. Is it divisive to the extent of Osaka? No. Is it divisive to the extent of mm, who's the jury out on? Ben White? No. But
No, no.
no. But he's getting there right now because he's mixing those performances and those bounce and that perfect mentality to bounce back with shocking performances at the end of the day, as well as good performances. Because again, the other problem that has been plaguing Arsenal is when we go down a goal by a goal or by two goals, we start chipping in 3-4. But this season it hasn't happened yet. Uh, So that's why I'm saying he still has that kind of like bounce back mentality, but yeah, we shouldn't be getting into those mistakes in the first place. So I really think he has to clean up his game and like just clean up that mess. William Saliba is the one saving us there, and right now we get to William Saliba. What's his rating for that game against Liverpool?
It's a tough one, actually. It's a bit of a tough one because um,
Why?
I don't want to go too high because we've shipped in two goals.
Yeah,
Uh,
true.
they weren't Saliba's fault. The definitely the Firmino goal. Gabriel was out of position.
Yeah.
So they weren't his fault. He's not done anything wrong. But he obviously played better than a 7. So I'll give him an 8.
An eight, okay. An eight it's decent. It's even quite high actually. It's
Well,
a,
what, what would you give him? What would you give him?
Um, personally, I would give him eight. I really like his performance. Okay, for that second goal with Firmino, I, I think he kind of like I wouldn't say costed because that was a clear all round defensive and midfield problem at the end of the day. But it was around his position that Firmino got to get that goal. But apart from that, his positional play, his awareness is strong. There was a ball that Diaz was just true. It was trying to get through into to go have a one-on-one with Ramsdale, but his passion, his hunger to just hold Diaz off and just guide him, through the stands. It is great. Saliba is really a rock for us, and I'm sorry to say, Ryan, if this guy gets injured, if this guy gets injured, we're finished.
I don't think we're finished, but
You think so?
I don't
If
think we're
Holding
finished.
comes back, are you confident with Holding and Gabriel Magalhaes?
No, if Saliba or Gabriel got injured, then Ben
Yeah,
White goes into the middle and Tomiyasu goes back to right.
Tomiyasu. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm not. I
Well,
I'm
okay. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, that's true.
I'm honestly
Yeah,
get, I'm honestly getting to the point
yeah,
where
that's
after
true.
seeing I'm honestly getting to the point where after seeing Gabriel's mistakes, I won't mind to see Saliba and Ben White at centre back for a game. Let's see how they do, because there's quite a few mistakes are creeping into Gabriel's game. Um,
Yeah, I can
it
see
wouldn't
that. Yeah, exactly.
wouldn't it honestly would not surprise me if we signed a new centre back next summer. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Even
Um,
even as soon as January,
we,
because you
we,
see, right now we should be challenging for the title by
yeah,
January.
we've been linked with a few up and coming centre backs, so
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me. He was linked with a move to Italy at one point, and I honestly expected him to go. I was surprised that we kept him, to be honest. But he is a solid defender though, and like I say, 18 minutes of the game is very very sound. But then like Xhaka, like David Luiz, he got that mistake in him, and that mistake in a big game could cost us dearly.
yeah, definitely. Okay, let's move into the next one. Um, I think we've rated Tomiyasu, right?
Yeah, I gave him a 9.
You give him a 9, right? Granit Xhaka,
I think Jack had another good game. He's had
another good one.
yeah, he's just had good game after good game.
It's
Um,
like a new signing. Like a
but
new signing. I
it,
can't
it,
believe it.
he's got a new lease of life. He's got the backing of the manager, the backing of his players.
Yeah.
Obviously, the morale's up and it's showing. He's got a strong defense behind him, which he's not had. So he's not feeling the need to have to get back as much. And it's been when he's getting back that he's been making them mistakes. So he's not having to push back that much, and especially when we've got Zinchenko playing and Zinchenko can push into central as well and push him up. Obviously, we didn't have that on Sunday, but Xhaka still had a good game, even though he didn't have that even though he didn't have that behind him.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The way he's playing, his offensive, like Thomas Partey has clearly released this guy. Like we're just seeing it. I don't know if it's now. I want to be very careful here when I'm talking about this. Is this from Mikel Arteta as a coach, or is this because of Thomas Partey?
I think honestly, I think there's a lot of factors. I think obviously Partey's definitely a factor because he's more of a defensive midfielder.
Yeah,
And I think a strong defense behind him is going to be a factor. The coaching staff, and the manager have got to play some kind of part. But honestly, I think it's more the fact that he's growing up a bit and he's got bit of a mature head on him, where it's stopping him being so rash in his tackles and being a bit more conserved on the ball. He's not like what Partey does when he has a wild shot. Xhaka used to have loads of wild shots and he's cut down on that a lot.
it's cut down on that a lot.
Going he's just showing that he's got a good mature head on him. So I mean, I
True.
just pray it continues.
True, and there were times he normally takes it, all these wayward shots, that would just go way off goal. But this time, instead of taking those type of shots, he's now timing passing. He times passes that he gives into the 18-yard box. You see, we all abused or called out Zaka, for the past 6 seasons. We've been cursing at him, abusing him, and he has been on the back end of one of the worst trolling ever in football history. Granit Xhaka, he's been on top of that. The fans have completely showed hate on him, castigated him, destroyed his name out there, and mostly when he totally just gave up, and it was just a kind of like pent up emotions in that stadium when, you know, he just left the pitch and then he threw down the captain's armband, and at that point, uh, you know, for him walking his way back into the team, I didn't see that coming. But people don't give Mikel Arteta um, the props for this in any way. Granit Xhaka should have been sold. He even said it himself. I think in some network that he spoke to, that he packed his bags the next morning. He wanted to leave the football club. In fact, the next transfer window, he wanted to be out. He wanted to go join Jose Mourinho. But then he had a talk with Mikel Arteta, and mostly after the coach got sacked, and then when Mikel Arteta came in, and after some mistakes, and the Arsenal fan base were not having it with him, he said he wanted to leave. So he spoke with Mikel Arteta, and Arteta convinced him, and he stayed. And right now we're enjoying the spoils of this. So
Yeah,
people who have been slagging him off, should also be the ones praising him right now for what he's done, because he's been a completely changed player. He deserves. I'll go up a notch. I'll give him 8.5.
yeah, it was 100%. It was a very sound game. Like you're saying, if you're going to criticize when they're playing bad, obviously you can
Yeah.
criticize when it's due, but then you've got to praise when praise is due as well, and you can't do
Yeah.
anything but praise his game at the minute.
Oh my God. Thomas Partey.
Partey, the same as Xhaka, had a very solid game. Yeah, it was what he didn't like 100% stand out, but he just did them little things that we expect him to do, and he does them well, and he goes about his job, like pretty much perfectly.
Yeah.
It's pretty much always very, very sound. I've only seen a handful of weak games from Partey. To be fair, he's pretty much on his day, pretty much every game, and yeah, it was very sound. Again, I'd give him. I'd give him a 7.5 because I feel like
A
he didn't.
7.5, right? Yeah.
I feel like he didn't set the world on fire, but he did. He did what we asked him to do.
Yeah, yeah. What will you say about Saka and his rating?
Saka, I'll give a 9 out of 10 because just
Yeah,
just because the way he was on the ball, and is never give up attitude, and the way it was a nice little, even though it was a scruffy finish, it was a nice finish to get it in, and the stepping up for the penalty, showing the obviously big balls on this kid. So the way he can show up and stand up with absolute confidence, take a penalty like that against a team like Liverpool,
yeah.
anything less than a 9 is no good. So yeah, 100% 9.
Yeah. Okay. What about Martin Odegaard?
Odegaard, I'll give a 7, because like we said, he had the good pass at the beginning, but I feel like he was pretty quiet for the rest of the game. He didn't really have like I said, I didn't have a bad game. I don't think anyone did, but
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty quiet. So yeah, I'll give him a 7.
A 7. Okay. Gabriel Martinelli.
Martinelli, I feel Martinelli was one of the better players.
Yeah.
Yeah, just his confidence, his maturity on the ball, the way he can get around players just as if they're not there, and obviously it was a great finish as well. So yeah, I'll give Martinelli a 9 also. Maybe yeah, I'll give him a 9. I'll give him a 9.
You give him a 9, right? Yeah. Yeah, Anthony Herbert. We will be going to that after this player rating. Okay. Gabriel Jesus. The
I will.
last one. Gabriel
I'll,
Jesus.
I'll give Jesus an 8 because he did the pressing well, and he
Hmm.
did everything else. Everything else in his game he did well. But when you've got a number 9 that's not scored a goal, I feel like
Yeah.
he would have to get he'd have to assist all the other goals for him to get a 9 or so. So yeah, I'll give him an 8 just because of obviously the way he works and his pressing, and obviously it was good when he had the ball. It was just obviously the goal scoring side that was a bit that pulls him down a bit.
Okay. That's it. What about Mikel Arteta? What will you give our gaffer?
I'll give Arteta a 9. His tactics were spot on. The tactics were spot on, and playing Tomiyasu at left back when I first seen it, I was like I said, I wasn't properly overly surprised because he did half of the game there on Thursday, but I was still a bit like, and then Tomiyasu just played off the park. So yeah, it was a good decision. I mean, all the only the only negative, like I said, was not bringing Vieira on halfway through the second half. That's what I would have done personally. We still got the win though, so I can't really say anything. His subs all were pretty sound, so I can't really say anything against that. Yeah, I think he got the tactics pretty spot on. He played pretty much the same team as what he's been playing, just other than
Yeah.
that Yasu change, which turned out to be a very good change because he played very very well. So you've got to give Arteta a 9.
Um, Ryan, on the 13th of October on Thursday, we face Bodo Glimt. The guys will put on Spliff at the Emirates in the Europa League competition. And then we're going to play the second leg, with the same team. So now, Arsenal is leading that group, even if we have a game in hand, but we're leading that group by 6 points. Bodo Glimt are leading that are in second actually with 4 points because I think they beat up Zurich.
Yeah.
PSV is in third with 4 points also, but Bodo Glimt, are you know are the same points with PSV right now. Just like Anthony Herbert has said now, but I want to go up a notch. Do you think Bodo Glimt can get the heat at home in Norway?
So, but they're about 20 odd games into the season, Bodo Glimt. So, they're a good way through their season, and they're currently in the second in the league. So they're not
Yeah,
they're, they're going to be confident. They're going to think that they can get a result. I thought they'd have been a bit better than what they were at the Emirates, to be honest. But we just played very well.
very well,
I
right?
feel like they're going to be because like before we beat them, they were undefeated in the Europa League. They're
Yeah,
flying high, they're confident in their own league. So we're going to their ground. They're going to be more confident. They've got obviously more fans behind them. I feel like
yeah,
they can have a bit more confidence, but all the confidence in the world won't make them better than Arsenal. So I can still, it's still going to be a victory for us.
It's going to be a victory. We should be beating those guys. And again, Ryan, the most important thing is that we are resting our first 11. This is the advantage people are not seeing. Other people, Manchester City have to go and play their first 11 in the Champions League, while we can seriously afford to just sit back, relax, allow Eddie Nketiah, Vieira, McQuinnus, to just go play and play these games, get us the points we need, win that particular standing and that group in the Europa League, and go for the next challenge. While our first 11 are recalibrating from the weekend onslaught on Liverpool. Like, that's the position we should be at, in a position of power, in a position of control, where we rest our first team while our squad players are the ones, going to this dark places and dark kingdoms, going out there and getting points for us. Because of course, everyone that plays in the Europa League, maybe somewhere like Hungary, Norway, maybe Finland one day, who knows? This kind of like very cold, dark places at winter night, to go to. They could go there and get those points. While our Gabriel Jesus, our Odegaards, all these guys, they can have a rest. William Saliba can have a rest. Holding can come in, and even Holding is not even really looking that bad this season in the Europa League.
And
For a squad player, he's okay.
yeah, and Matt Turner had a strong game. I was surprised. Yeah,
Exactly,
he
exactly.
played well. There was a point in the Liverpool game where it looked like Ramsdale might go off, and I wasn't as nervous with Turner
As
as
nervous, exactly.
because
True.
he had a nice solid game. So you never know. We might end up. He might. He could have a good game as well. Like so. Yeah, 100%. Rest some players. Bring the bench players into the front. I love to see Vieira. Love watching Marquinhos. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it'll be a nice, swift attacking game, but a game that
Great.
we can easily win. Even though Bodo Glimt will be confident because they're flying high in their league, but I still think we can get that victory.
Okay, Ryan, many clubs this past weekend had good games. Like, let's be very serious. Some teams had good games because I want to go to the banter club of the week. Gladly and happily, it's not Ola's club at the back end of another banter club of the week again. So it has to be someone else.
I
So who
mean,
is your banter club of the week? Wolves defeated by Chelsea 3-0. Manchester City pumping Southampton 4-0. But you can hardly even give it to them because they tried their best. And trust me, this season these teams are just crumbling and kissing the ring of Manchester City. Even before going down there, they've lost the game.
yeah. I mean, it's like you said, it's one of them weekends where a lot of the big the all of the pretty much all the big sides won, didn't they?
Yeah.
Obviously Spurs got the victory, Newcastle did, City did, Chelsea did. It's so obviously if we're doing banter club of the week and it's with our rivals, there's not really anyone I can properly pick out to say their performance was a banter performance. Obviously, Liverpool lost to us that we know, but they didn't put in a banterish performance. They put in a
Yeah, yeah,
performance,
exactly. They put in a good shift.
dirty performance. The only you'd say surprise result is maybe Bournemouth beating Leicester, but that was still a result I kind of did predict. I did, but
But
saying that,
Newcastle Brentford, oh my God, 5-1.
I
Banter
mean,
Club of the Week.
I mean, obviously
Newcastle Brentford.
Newcastle are flying. It's a surprise result for Brentford. One team that I did annoy me though is Brighton. I thought Brighton could have got a result. I thought Brighton could have got a result against Spurs.
Spurs, right?
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't turn up.
No, but they played well. They played well. I think Conte was very defensive. He shut down. See, to beat Tottenham, it's not everyone that can do it this season. Trust me, that Tottenham team is a genuinely good team. I'm sorry to say. I know they're they are noisy neighbors, but we have to be very very objective in this. That team is a tightly knit team.
The number of passes that Spurs have done in the final third of the pitch puts them in around about 18th place overall.
Understandable.
So they might be a sound defensive unit, but they're not. They're not that attacking at the minute.
They're not conceding goals that much, and that's a problem.
Yeah. So, I expected Brighton to get a draw, or
Okay.
at least get a goal against Spurs, or at least have a semi good result. I didn't expect it. I was surprised because obviously Brighton are in the what are they, fourth, fifth? They were at the beginning of the weekend, so
Yeah.
there was every chance for them to get it. And because they didn't, and because they didn't get a point, I'm going to give Brighton the Banter Club of the Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here. Brighton, Banter Club of the Week. That's a tight one, but I just have to go with Ryan. He handles that part of the show, so it's all controlled by him at this point. So, Brighton, Banter Club of the Week. Hey guys, I would see you guys on tomorrow. Maybe not on this show, but on Northside show. Northside is back from Portugal. Uh, and me and him will be having a banter in his channel for our show together, which is Heated Debate. So join us there tomorrow. He will give me the time. I'll text it out to you guys. On Thursday, me and Ola will be here. Even if new faces are coming here, we are tightly knit with the old guys who have fought for us here. Of course, Ryan is here with us. Ola will be here with us too. Let's see what will happen. Thanks for joining us. I'm still talking to Ryan if we can have our first ever watch along show on Thursday when Arsenal faces Bodo Glimt. So Ryan, I hope we can make this work and just try it out. So you guys, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a nice day and thank you very much.
Thanks
Ryan,
for watching, everyone. God bless you.
God bless you. God bless you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for watching with us. Bye.